Hi, I'm Jeff Ajik. I'm the owner and founder of Action and Continuous Improvement Central. And in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about the overview of the interruption log. Now, this is a great tool for collecting data for kaizen events, but it's also good for anybody working primarily in administrative roles to get an understanding of how much of their time is spent doing their planned production work, the daily work that they want to do, and how much of their time is spent chasing these aberrations when somebody comes in and asks for help on something else. So these little deviations from your normal workflow. And now if you're in customer service, you're going to see this kind of thing. So, be careful about what you call an interruption. If your job is to handle interruptions all day long from customers, then that's not this. But if your job is to process some type of form and you frequently have people coming in asking for additional information, that sort of thing, or if you're an engineer and you have a lot of questions about things that are coming up, when you're trying to do design work, or if you're in marketing and you're doing graphics work and people are coming back and asking, where do you keep these files and that sort of thing. So the idea here is you want to have data to be able to make improvements later. So there is a purpose to it. If you understand why you're being interrupted, you can understand what is the biggest issue in terms of the number of occurrences and in the time it takes. So for interruptions, let me back up. And many times the amount of incidents is less important than the cost it has. So if you have, just so sometimes little line stops that are just a couple seconds at a time are not as impactful as one 20-minute line stop because of the cost associated with it. A bunch of little ones are annoying, but in terms of defects, if you have a lot of little defects that are escaping versus one big one that costs a lot more money, you still have a bigger issue with the number of times. And this is a way of kind of parsing through that and getting the data collected so that you can make that decision later about whether the big interruptions are the problem for you or the little interruptions and the quantity of them, because some people have trouble getting back to work. So a 30-second interruption may cost somebody 4 or 5 minutes because they have to figure out where they were and kind of reopen things or go look for other stuff. So the point here, though, is interruptions are bad. We all know that. And we want to make a distinction between interruptions and unplanned support roles. And then we want to talk about this form. So now the form, as we're looking at it, it's pretty basic. You have your name and then the process and job you do, page 1 or whatever page you're on of whatever you fill this out when you're done with your collection, the date, the start, stop, total time, who interrupted you, and then the reason for the interruption. Now this is just based on the PDF form that we have for our guests. We are going to be rolling out additional forms. We're always making improvements. So the plan is to put in little check boxes here so you can keep this open on your desk. And when somebody comes in and, you can just start the interruption time right away. And there is some value to actually pulling up the form and clicking the box when somebody walks in, because then they kind of recognize that it is an interruption and they can start thinking things. But the goal of this is to collect the reason for interruption in enough detail that you can do something with it later. And the idea is to get an understanding of, all the data so that over time, things that may feel the most important may not actually be the biggest impact or the highest number. Just, sometimes emotion will cloud things if it is a particularly vexing problem that people are coming to you, even though it's not a big one or not a frequent one. Those kind of things sometimes cloud our judgment about where we can make the biggest gains. So this tool is available for free. And like I said, a PDF version. We also do put together user guides that dive into a lot more detail about the background information on how to put things together, how to use it effectively. And then we have a leader's guide that will give you detailed information about how to teach people to use this and how to manage it and what to do with it when you get completed on it. So we do have a lot of information. And there's also, in our memberships and toolkits, we have a lot more training to back it up. So if you're going to take this form and you're going to use an interruption log, you want to have process improvement tools available. You want to see where it fits into the big picture plan. So I encourage you to take a look around and see all the things that are available to get the most out of this form. Have a good day.